I've been wanting to make this video for a while now because I think this is a great example of what it looks like when a person comes out to critique another content creator who has a lot of influence and nobody listens because all of a sudden they remember that they left the stove on. And Rosanna Pansino was that individual that came out to critique Mr. Beast, and a lot of people were very hesitant to even consider what she was saying. But I want to go ahead and highlight two content creators that were very critical of Pansino, and they're the ones who I really want to go ahead and talk about: Pegasus and Tom Dark. So let's go ahead and start off with Pansino, kind of describing her situation and the people online.
And a lot of people also accuse me of, oh, you're just saying this for clout. I don't want any of Mr. Beast's clout. I have said many interviews that my philosophy, not only for life, but for business, is a marathon, not a sprint. And I have never looked for a shortcut or a quick come up. This is literally, I cannot take people's crap anymore. I am so sick of it. It is affecting my mental health. I'm over it. I'm done.
So as you heard her towards the end, she says she's sick of it. She's done. It's affecting her mental health. And I kind of want to have this discussion because as ambiguous as that last statement was, I don't know if she was directing it towards the people online criticizing her or content creators that she works with. One thing is for sure, that whenever it comes to people criticizing her or even any other person, oftentimes it's because of the biases and heuristics and psychological effects that we're completely unaware of. And one of the things that I wish I knew a lot sooner were these heuristics and biases. Not because I used to cancel anybody, because I never canceled anyone. The only thing I would cancel are my subscriptions a little before the free trial ended. So one of Pansino's biggest critics was Pegasus, and you can see that some of his tweets were just going after this poor woman. Some of them read, "Full-grown woman crying over a hide-and-seek game over a year ago. Congratulations, #1 clout chaser of the year. Ain't no way she's coming back for round 2." This is a post where Pegasus is responding to a Dexerto post talking about Mr. Beast and building 100 wells in Africa, where he posted, but he cut me out of the hide-and-seek video. And if you thought he was calling it quits, brace yourself. He hasn't even submitted his 2-week notice. I think this was probably the worst one that he made, which reads, "She's clearly having a midlife crisis," with even a clip on Twitter of him still going after Pansino.
Look at me. I am not having a meltdown on twitter.com. I am not having a midlife crisis. I am not a full-grown woman getting...
Yeah, so obviously these aren't exactly prerequisites to get into the VIP lounge in heaven. But as you guys know, more and more allegations are starting to drop from former Mr. Beast employees. Dogpack is one of them as well. And they're backing up Rosanna Pansino's, experience on the set. And because of that, a lot of commentary channels came out to give their own opinion about the situation. And one of the channels that came out to give their opinion was Pegasus. And in that video, he talked about Rosanna Pansino, and this is what he had to say.
And I gotta take the L here, guys. You guys remember Rosanna Pansino? She was this YouTuber who has been calling out Mr. Beast on Twitter for faking his hide-and-seek challenge. And she essentially said that she was supposed to place maybe like second place in the hide and seek or something like that. And, everyone was like, oh, you're being petty. Who cares? Who actually cares, right? And I even criticized her before. But after looking into it a little bit more, she was right. If she thought she could actually, win some money there, or thought it was legit and Mr. Beast was rigging the results or whatever, somebody actually broke the rules of the challenge and stuff, and they weren't called out, but she was actually eliminated. And I've defended him a lot of times against people who would criticize his charity and stuff, but there is just overwhelming evidence now that shows Jimmy is shady as F. So I'm gonna apologize. I'm sorry, Rosanna. But anyways, moving on to Mr. Beast's real-time video.
Now, of course, towards the end, you can see that Pegasus, he just kind of moves on, which was a little bit bothersome for me. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason why is because, when a content creator talks about a person, a good portion, or maybe even some people from the community, go after that person. And if you're wondering, like, well, what else could he have done? Well, I'm gonna get into that in a bit. The most important thing is that he acknowledged his mistake and he apologized for it. But let's go ahead and continue, because I still want to go ahead and talk about Tom Dark. Now, Tom Dark definitely had a couple of words for Pansino, and trust me, get well soon did not make the cut.
Thank you all for the immense support. Words cannot describe how empowering and healing the last 24 hours has been. Healing, really? It's healing? You dumb bitch. It's healing you? What the f are you saying, dude? What are you saying? It's healing? You're fine, okay? You're fine. You got to be in a Mr. Beast video, an opportunity that most people would literally kill someone for. Most people would push a homeless person down a flight of stairs to be in a Mr. Beast video. And you're mad about the fact that he edited it to make it look like you weren't in the top 3? Who cares? Literally, no one should care about this. Like, you are a loser for caring about this at all.
An absolute mic drop moment from Tom. Now, I haven't seen an apology video from Tom, although he does stream and he does have videos, and I haven't kept up with all his videos. If you have seen Tom apologize to Pansino, then please do go ahead, link it down below, because I want to go ahead and see it, and I'll go ahead and pin the comment. But the reason why I want to go ahead and point this out is because when they have strong opinions like this, unfortunately, some of their audience members are going to adopt that opinion and are going to run with it. Whether you think Pansino or even Dogpack's allegations are true or not, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, when you have a strong opinion about a particular person, fans and viewers alike are not epistemically trained to validate that information, which means most likely that these viewers who are watching Tom Dark are going to go over to Rosanna Pansino's channel and they're just going to bombard her with like the most heinous, foul DMs language that you can imagine. And when you have that many negative comments heading your way, it definitely does impact your mental health, you know. And not only does it impact your mental health, but it definitely influences you to think a certain way. A good example of this is Rosanna Pansino, where she came out against Mr. Beast and she was gaslit by everybody because everybody had an opinion about it. And they influenced her to think that she was wrong about the situation. As a matter of fact, she even issued an apology to Mr. Beast. And if you take a look at the date of when this apology was posted, you can see that it was posted on October 29th, 2023. Tom's video where he's critiquing Rosanna Pansino was published on October 28, 2023. As for Pegasus's tweet, his tweet was published on October 27, 2023. And this was the most viral tweet of all the tweets that he posted. So there's a very good chance that some of the people in these communities went over to Rosanna's YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram, and most likely scolded her for the Mr. Beast situation. And if you take a look at her channel now, she labels Mr. Beast as disturbing, gross, dangerous. And the reason for this change in attitude is most likely due to the fact that many more people came out confirming her experience on the set. Now, I want to go back to Pegasus' apology. Now, I think that his apology is pretty decent, but one thing I wish he would have done was relay the idea that he's just some guy in entertainment. He's also a guy who's looking into a situation and just providing a simple opinion. We're prey to our own biases, especially when we don't have any knowledge of these biases existing. It can kind of create this tendency in a person to kind of disregard their own moral and ethics by creating a whole new identity. But we could break that psychological phenomenon simply by being aware of it. And usually the way we're aware of it is by someone either reminding us or training ourselves to scope out biases, fallacies, and heuristics. Which is why I kind of think that his apology was pretty decent. It was still good that he apologized, but I just kind of wish that he would have just reminded people like, listen, man, I'm just a YouTuber, just a dumb YouTuber making videos in the bedroom. I'm just kidding, no. But reminding them that he's just giving an opinion, that he was interested in this topic, he searched it up, and he just giving an opinion. It's not meant to be taken as fact. That way, when he does say that, it snaps people out of that mentality of like, I gotta go and destroy Pansino. As for Tom Dark, I think that he took a massive L. His L makes Mount Everest look like a speed bump. That's how massive it is, you know. Now, am I gonna stop watching these guys? Absolutely not. You know, we're all human. We all make mistakes, you know. And hopefully, if I ever make a mistake like this, I hope that I'm not judged for that one mistake, but rather judged for the consistency of my character. Because I try to be as consistent as possible. Now, I want to go ahead and make this absolutely fucking clear, okay? The point of this video is not to get two of my favorite content creators canceled, okay? It was simply to provide constructive criticism and to bring awareness to audiences that our actions definitely have consequences. Because the fact is that a lot of the people who went to scold her, they ended up, in a way, silencing her. But now it turns out that her voice is pretty important to the cause that Dogpack and other Mr. Beast employees are attempting to notify people of. That Mr. Beast's work environment is pretty toxic. And again, I just want to go ahead and clarify this, okay? Just in case this video goes viral, okay? I'm not trying to cancel anyone, okay? Not Mr. Beast, not Pansino, not the content creators that I'm talking about. And if you think that I'm for cancel culture, don't ever drive a car. Don't even make a U-turn, because something tells me that you don't know what the letter U looks like. And if you're going to make the argument of, oh, you're only lenient on Tom and Pegasus because they're your favorite content creators, but you wouldn't do this with any other content creator, then I highly encourage you guys to go watch my other videos on Ethan Klein, Hassan Piker, Logan Paul. almost everybody lambasts these content creators, but I don't. I attempt to understand where they're coming from. The only people that I like to criticize a little more harshly are the people from the red pill space, Myron, and of course Sneeko. And that's because they have this philosophy of shaming is a great tactic to use. So if they believe that, and they also believe in roasting people, then I'm like, hey, you know what, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple punches myself. Now, before I go ahead and end the video, I just want to go ahead and just finish off my critiques about these two. So when it comes to Turkey Tom, I think that he's doing an absolutely phenomenal job. I would highly recommend that you guys check out his false allegations video. He's talking about Dog Pack and the Mr. Beast. If you're still interested in that topic, great video. Highly recommend it. My only critique is that you know when it comes to criticizing people, just take it a step back, just a little bit. Now when it comes to Pegasus, I do have a little bit more of a critique for him. I think that his opinion oftentimes kind of resembles that of Moist Critical. Moist Critical oftentimes had like a very broad opinion. It wasn't really anything deep. And that's kind of what Pegasus's opinions are. Like oftentimes it's just more or less a very broad opinion, of what he's thinking in the moment. No deep analysis. Another thing is that, the way he critiques people, I feel like oftentimes is a little too mean. He goes a little too hard sometimes, and that was always something that I kind of had a problem with. Of course, he doesn't have to take this criticism, neither does Turkey Tom if he doesn't want to, but just know that if you continue these habits, then you're most likely going to end up running into the same problem as you did with Pansino. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to just go ahead and talk about that. Let me know what you guys think. That's all I have for you guys, and yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today.